Stephanie Milky here, aka Keto Mom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the Keto Mom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the Keto Mom Secrets podcast. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie. I need to set my phone so nobody disrupts me, like my sister. We are diving back into Dream It, Pin It, Live It. I hope you had a great weekend. If you're tuning in, it is Monday morning. We are live on a Monday morning, and we are diving into our Dream It, Pin It, Live It Chapter 3. I want to know, first of all, as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? I am tuning in from the lovely Minnesota. If you're brand new, post new below. If you're not, you know that I live in Minnesota. There's lots of snow. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We are hosting. We watched the big Vikings game yesterday. Listen, our team was on a roll. I say our team. I'm actually not a big football fan. I'm married into a family that is. So everybody was super enthusiastic. We had like 30 people over here yesterday to cheer on the Vikings, and we lost. So you Texas friends, you beat us. I just really honestly love to have people over. I love people, food, conversations. And then I'm like, what is going on with the game? So, good morning. All right, a couple things. If you are brand new, post new below. If you are like, what are we talking about? We're going through a book every day, every morning. Most mornings, unless it's on the weekends. Usually I'm up and doing things early morning. So we're going through a book to help you with your mindset. There are plenty of things that you can do or things to look at to help you with your food. We've been sharing Thanksgiving recipes. So let me ask you this question. Are you hosting or are you going somewhere for Thanksgiving? If you're hosting, let me know. Actually, I love to ask questions. I actually like it when your comments, so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. We can change the question. If you want to say you're hosting, we're hosting. Actually, we're going to two. We're hosting, and then Saturday, I'm going to my sister's. What is your favorite thing at Thanksgiving to eat? And if you're out of the country, I'm super sorry. But our Thanksgiving's on Thursday. We're super excited. I already did all of my shopping. What is your favorite thing to eat? Now, you can answer that below. Here's what we do. In the mornings, we're working on dreaming a dream board or mindset. Right now, we're going through a book to help you with your dreams. Look at the sun's coming up. Isn't that fun? I mean, it's up, but it's starting to shine through. Here's what we did last week is we did chapters 1 and 2, and we talked about just starting to dream. Oftentimes people, it gives tons of statistics, right? So it'll say, are you in the grandstands? Are you actually in the game? Are you in the passenger seat letting other people direct your life? Are you driving? Are you, they gave an example of a college class. Are you the 3% of people who are actually going after your goals? Or are you 97% of the world that just sit back and let everybody else dominate their life? Like, let things happen to you. I'm starting this now because I don't want to wait till January. Selfishly, it's for me, and I wanted to take you along. I invited you to join me. A lot of you have the book. Now, we are going to, the challenge or the assignment was to go through and write down 101 things that you want to have, places you want to go, things you want to achieve. And the goal was to write down 101 things on a notebook just to get your mind started and to start dreaming and to start going, oh yeah, I do want that, or that is on my heart. How many of you did the 101 assignment? Did anybody do the assignment? If you did the assignment, type in 101 with a check mark by it, like done. I regret to inform you that I only got to 36. So here's my list. I'll show you. I only got to 36. And I was sitting by the fire the other night and I was like racking my brain. I feel like this is an old saying. This is going to sound like I'm like 80. This is going to sound like I'm 80 when I say it. And I'm actually not a thing person. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not I had a really hard time writing down things like, I want a new purse. I'd like some new shoes. I want to go on this vacation. Honestly, because our family has been, number one, super blessed. My husband and I have worked really, really hard, and we have done a ton in our life already. I'm about to turn 40 in February. And the places that we've gone, we've traveled the world, like we've done things. I've had things. I have things, but I couldn't get myself to put down those because I've already had it. I've already done it, and I actually don't want it. So mine was a little different. So I was sitting around the fire. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was like, do you think it's bad if I don't fill in the 101? And I've done this book before, and I've done dream boards and vision boards. So here's what I want you to know. It's okay if you didn't get the 101. The point of this exercise is for you to start dreaming. If you've never done a vision board, if you've never dreamed, if you're like day in and day out, you're sitting in the grandstands, you're in the passenger seat, you're the 97%, this was to help you go, I don't know what I actually want. I don't know what to focus on. Does that make sense? So I have a lot of things that I'm super excited about. There are things that I actually want. Like my goal for this next year is I'm going to write a book. I almost signed up for a course. It was a 4-month course, and they guaranteed to have your manuscript done. I just couldn't commit because I was like, I actually think I need a year. I've given myself a year. We're going to talk about SMART goals here in a second. So I wrote down, like, I had a really cool idea for the Keto Mom page that I want to create something. I wrote down different things of giving. I wrote down things I want to teach the girls. So my list is obviously different than your list, but we're going to take these lists and we're going to dive into the next chapter. So I hope that you did it in some way, shape, or form. If you didn't, take out a notebook and just start writing things that are on your heart. It's not meant for you to ask the question like, it's not meant for you to be like, I can't afford this, or how would this happen, or you're just meant to write, okay? So if you have questions, why don't you ask your questions below, and I would love to help you. I'll send you a message. Okay, let's dive in. Chapter 3, setting your top 10 goals. This was brainstorming. Listen, we've got a good amount of this book to go through. I mean, we probably can get done by the end of the month, but in December, we're going to dream and create. All right. So we're dreaming. In December, we're going to create. So she's got a 30-day challenge that will change your life in chapter 3. If you have the book, awesome. You can do all the activities and read all the stories. If you do not, you're going to listen to me. Is this making sense? Are you enjoying this? I need you to let me know. So we'll start reading. Goals are simply dreams with deadlines. That's said by Napoleon Hill. So she says, this has been the most amazing. Okay, let me back up. Brian Tracy says one of his favorite exercises is to imagine it's December 31st. That's not very far from you. So Brian Tracy says it's December 31st. He imagines this often. This year, and as he looks back over the year, he enthusiastically says, this has been the most amazing year of my life. Now, the author says this, what would have to happen in order for you to say something that bold? What would have to happen to you for you to say, this has been the most amazing year of my life? Good morning, Emery. I didn't tell her good morning. We homeschool, so our girls are just getting up. What would have to happen in order for you to say that bold statement? This has been the most amazing year of my life. I want you to start thinking. So the power of this next chapter is simply, as she says, what would have to occur in your personal life, your finances, your family, your business? What would have to happen for you to declare that? There's lots of books you can read. I'll tell people, I say this often, listen, there are lots of inspiration, motivation, powerful speakers, and she's motivational speakers and authors. Jim Rohn says, learning to set goals is a habit that alters your life forever. So we're going to get specific. It's going to be super important that you do this. What's easy to do, so she says there's tons of different books you can, like a vision board, a dream board, writing down your goals. None of this is new. Now, I listened to this yesterday. Our pastor actually said this. Have you guys ever heard the phrase, knowledge is power? Has anybody ever heard that? Knowledge is power. It's actually not true. Knowledge is power when put into action, put into motion, right? I've said that here before. You can know how to eat keto. You can have all of the recipes at your fingertips. I give you all of the things that you need. But until you take the action, it's worthless. So the point is, he goes, you want to know what's so easy? What's easy is to set goals. It's also easy to not set goals. What's easy is to create a vision board. It's also easy not to create a vision board. So if you want to be successful, you have to set goals and you need to write them down. That's what we talked about last week. All right. She said, I interviewed tons of different extraordinary people and they all have consistency in common. They are all committed and consistent and they continually learn. They're always learning and they have clear, defined goals and a plan to achieve them. If you're bored with your life, if you don't get up every morning with a burning desire to do things, you do not have big enough goals. I honestly was telling my friend last night. I get up every day. When I wake up, I'm like, I honestly lay in bed and I'm like, I'm so excited for today. It's nothing probably new. I homeschool our girls. I work from home. But I lay in bed and every day I go, all right, God, we get another day. What are we going to do? So excited. You want to get up with an excitement of like, we're talking about what to do after this next, after your 101 goals. So somebody said, what do I do with my 101 goals? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it right now. All right. Research discovered 80% of Americans don't have any goals. 16% have goals, but they don't write them down. 3% have goals, but they don't revisit them. They do not review them. 1% of them, in fact, have goals, wrote them down, and reviewed them on a consistent basis. You cannot reach your full potential without goals. All right, we'll keep going. You will achieve your goals 10 times faster and with greater probability if you absolutely get crystal clear on what you want. So this is what you're going to do with your 101 list, okay? Setting goals for your life means deciding what you want in your life and planning how to get it. So here's a couple mistakes. So we have this list, 101 things. So, and if it says something like, I want to be a millionaire, I want to lose 50 pounds, I'm going to write 4 books. I said I'm going to write a book. I have to get more specific. I want a new Porsche. I want to save X amount of money. If you set goals that are too unrealistic or may take longer than 12 to 18 months to achieve it, it destroys your confidence and diminishes your hopes of achieving your goals. So there are broad, unclear, and too vague goals. So like, I want to save money. I want to get out of debt. I want to quit smoking. I want to eat healthy. I want to get closer to God. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to read more. Those are not specific. So we're going to take those goals that you have written down, those 101 dreams, and we're going to do a 30-day challenge. But before we talk about that, here's what you're going to do. You're going to look at those goals and all of those 101 things, and we're going to get specific. Have you guys ever heard of SMART goals? It's an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely. So you're going to take those, and she says, first of all, I want you to remember that setting more than 10 goals, if you set 5 goals, that's great. If you set too many goals, it's more likely that you will lose your focus. So you're actually going to look at those goals And you're going to circle like 10 of them. So circle 10 that can be achieved within the next 12 to 18 months. Can you do that? So an action step is to go through those, circle 5 to 10 that can be achieved in the next 12 to 18 months. And you're going to get specific. So you might have wrote, I want to lose weight. So S stands for specific. You must get clarity of what to accomplish by being specific. Example, I want to save money this year. Here's the right example. I will save $5,000 by December 31st. We're talking about next year, right? So, example, measurable. This is where you will truly measure whether or not you will hit your goal. Here's the wrong answer. I will lose weight. This is super specific. Next year, I don't want your vision board to say lose weight. I don't want a scale that's like, says 145 pounds. Right answer. I will lose 120 pounds by May 15th. That's a lot. So here's what you need to know for even your vision board. I will do this by this time. Does that make sense? It needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. Here's an action step. The wrong answer is I will be more consistent with my exercise. Here's the right one. I will exercise 5 days a week. Do you guys understand this? Realistic. If your goals are too big, you are setting yourself up to fail. Here's a wrong answer. I will save $50,000 by May 31st. Right answer. I will save 10% of my current salary, $7,000 next year. And there's a deadline. Deadlines are motivating. Always established by when date. So, for example, I will write a book. Oh, this is great because I'm going to write a book. I have one started, but I have two, but I'm actually going to finish it. Right answer. I will finish my manuscript by September 30th. I, Stephanie Milkey, will finish my manuscript by December 31st, 2023. I'm going to give myself a year. I'm doing it. I'm writing every day. I just need to get it organized. So measurable goals. I want you to go through those 101 lists and circle 10 things that can be within the next 12 to 18 months. Even if you're like, I want to buy a Coach purse. Like that was one of my circle, not mine. That wasn't mine. It's not bad. I have plenty. I'm just saying it wasn't my thing. Circle it. All right. You're going to put some of those things on a vision board. Now we're going to go back. Here's your 30-day challenge, which is great because it takes us all the way to the end of the year. She goes, I want you to write your top 10 goals for this year. We're doing next year, your top 10 goals. I want you to start writing them out. So I actually think this is something that we could do in January. We can start it now. I get it. We're still getting up to the end of the year. If you haven't written your list, start dreaming. Circle 10 things that you can accomplish. She gives you an action step and says, I want you for the next 30 days. Write out your top 10 goals for the year. For the next 30 days, write out your goals every morning. So you're going to take 10 of those things and all you're going to do is you're going to write it, but you're going to write them in the present tense. So write them down each day without looking back to what you wrote the day before. If you can't remember all 10 original goals, that's okay. It just means that not all of them were that important to you. So maybe you shouldn't go back and look at them. Use a notebook. So one of the greatest ways to build your faith is to see results in small areas of achievement. So here's what she wants you to do. She wants you to teach in the following chapters. So we will get more increasingly specific before we actually create it, but she just simply wants you to write them out. I probably will look at mine for a little bit, but for the next 30 days is those 10 goals in the morning. When you sit down to drink your coffee or you grab your ketones, it's really dry in my house. I want you to write them out. Okay, so I will be doing that every morning. Write out the top 10 things. All right, there's so many action steps I don't want to get too far ahead. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your 101 goals. If you haven't done it, just start dreaming, get a notebook and write it out. Circle the top 10, and we're going to start writing those for the next 30 days. We're going to get more specific. We're going to get more intentional. We're going to figure out what you actually want to put on your dream board. But the one thing that she did say was, for example, she wants you to write something out like, I was going to show you one more personal thing. I didn't want to read all of this. It's like, for example, I will write a book. Mine will have to say, I will finish my manuscript by. So it's using this specific acronym, this SMART acronym, to be able to get specific. Just start giving yourself some deadlines, some very specific. I'll start going to the gym 4 days a week. I was going to say 3 to 5. That's not very specific. I will prep my meals every Sunday. I will drink my ketones every day. I will do a 24-hour fast once a week. I will, whatever the case may be, get up an hour every morning. I will set my alarm clock and get up an hour earlier to journal, to read, to walk on the treadmill, to do whatever the case may be. Get specific. That's your action step. All right, that was a lot longer than I wanted to go. So we will finish chapter 3 tomorrow with some more action steps, and we'll just go from there. All right. Sound good? If you have any questions, let me know. Continue to tune into the page. If all you're looking for is recipes, I have lots of them here. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com and click on recipes. You can click on how to get started. You can click on, there's lots of things for you. ketomomsecrets.com. Otherwise, reach out with questions. I'm going to hit some serious goals this next year. I hope you're going to join me. And otherwise, continue to tune in later. I'll do another live this afternoon. We are going to be doing a Black Friday sale. So if you've never tried my Mom Fuel ketones, if you have and you want to know more, just post Black Friday below because I will tell you what that is. I'm pretty sure we're going to do it today. So let me know if you want to know more about my Mom Fuel ketones. That's just something on the side that I love. It's a tool. Otherwise, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.